Yeah, that was a tough one. So we didn't get the win.
Is there anything particularly frustrating for kind of how that went or no?
No.
I don't think I've ever seen you go inside the office, not the locker room. Is there any particular reasons why?
No, it's just a private conversation with Zach.
At 0-3, the odds, you could say, for you guys to make the postseason, definitely not in your favor, but before you can even talk about that, I assume the focus is to get a win next week in Carolina. As the leader of this team, obviously I know you guys played well on offense, but how do you get this locker room in a feeling of that the season isn't over and carrying the momentum you guys had on offense into next week?
Yeah, we just come back to work on Wednesday, come in tomorrow, watch the tape, improve the things that we can improve, come back on Wednesday and have a great practice, bring great energy, and try to get better. That's all you can do. 0-3, obviously, not very good, not where we want to be. So we just got to come back on Wednesday, try to get better.
How disappointing is it not just going 0-3, but two teams that really drafted in the top 3 last year, you had them at home. Does that add to any of the frustration that about the start, kind of how things went?
No game is easy. I mean, they played great on offense today. Jayden played unbelievable. We had our opportunities and didn't cash in on them. So that's been the common denominator from the first 3 weeks. We've had opportunities and didn't cash in on those. So whatever we got to do to get better this week, so we can come back on Sunday and execute in the spots and get better in the spots that we need to, is what we're going to do.
How do you think the offense did overall tonight?
We played really well. We stalled out on some drives in the first half. That's really what it came down to. We just got to get 7 in those situations in a game like that.
Can you figure out why y'all couldn't get in the end zone in the second quarter?
There was a sack. I missed Zach on a scramble on second down. I think we probably would have got the first. Those are the 2 off the top of my head without watching the tape.
Did you go into this game paying extra attention to the fact that you guys were down a couple of key players on your defensive line and maybe approached it in we're going to have to score a lot of points, maybe even more than we typically would because of what we're dealing with on the defensive side of the ball?
No, I wouldn't say I approached it that way. That's, I go into every game ready to adapt to what I need to do to go and win the game. And we felt pretty early that what kind of game it was going to be, and for the most part we answered. In that second quarter, I think there were 2 drives there where we could have come up with 7, and we came up with one drive we came up with none, and one drive we came up with 3. So that's an 11-point swing right there.
After the game last week, you said y'all had a lot of improvement to do. Did you have a sense that this team had a long way to go? That if y'all wanted to get back to where you were at? I think it's what you ended the comments with last week after the game.
We got a long way to go.
Jayden went 21-23. Did you catch yourself looking up there? I mean, it didn't seem like you missed. Did you catch yourself watching him at all?
Yeah, of course I'm watching him. He played great. So I told him that after the game. Congrats to him. Big time performance. Credit to them. They played unbelievable. We didn't quite match their level of execution.
But you guys, this is probably the best you've been in a long time as far as being in a groove of the running game and the passing.
Yeah, we were pretty consistent all day.
Not to get into specifics of the conversation, but why did you feel the need to have that conversation with Zach immediately as you got off the field?
It was a very positive conversation. We're not happy with where we're at, but by no means is the season over. We're 0-3. There's 14 left to play. We just have to continue to get better and see where the cards fall in the next 10 weeks, whenever the bye is. So we just got to go into this week preparing to get better and trying to get a win. That's all you can do.
Was that your idea? Was that Zach's idea?
Mutual.
How did you feel physically?
I felt great.
Do you find yourself maybe needing to do anything different from a leadership style when you're 0-3 heading into a must-win game next week?
That'll be some critical thinking that I'll have to do. See what kind of leader I want to be going forward, and what I feel like the team needs from me going forward.
Self-confidence in your defense?
Yeah, of course. We got the players. I'm not sure what happened tonight. I know we got great coaches and we got really good players that are willing to improve and take coaching. So, just like any game, when you don't play great, you're going to learn from your mistakes and get better, and that's all you can do.
How do you think T looked tonight, Joe?
He looked good. He made some big plays for us on third down, and he's just getting his feet back under him, so he's going to continue to improve.
It was good to get that connection with Ja'Marr going. Those deep balls with Dalton, like that you saw in 21, especially with a single high. I mean, how good was that? Is that going to be for y'all moving forward, you think?
Yeah, that's, we caught a couple into single high coverage today. Based on the day, I'm not sure how much more we're going to see of that. I think we caught it 2 times and we scored 2 touchdowns. So we'll see if teams continue to do that. I hope they do. We're going to continue to, try to take advantage of our opportunities.
What did you think when you saw that pre-snap? I don't think we've seen that a ton when y'all get in that part of the field. What did you think pre-snap when they showed one?
Yeah, I liked the calls we had into it. We executed on them, so that was exciting to see. We'll watch the tape and see some of those red zone opportunities that we could have had. I mean, they were doubling them like Calvin Johnson down there. So we got to find some plays to still get him the ball in those situations. We can't just let a team take him away like that. And so I think, going forward, just finding some more plays to get him involved like that.
The ball to Yoshi on fourth down for the touchdown, did he run like a similar, was that a similar route to what he did in KC? It looked like he kind of reversed.
A little double move, yeah. Not exactly the look we were looking for in that situation, but we made it work.
A lot of your football career has been about you overcoming adversity and odds when they're stacked against you. You seem to take pride in being able to do that. So how do you feel about that challenge and knowing that the odds are definitely stacked against you, but it's an opportunity for you to once again overcome a situation?
Yeah, exciting opportunity, just like every season is. There's going to be some big games down the stretch that we're going to have to step up for. We haven't played any division opponents yet. Steelers are 3-0. Other teams are 1-2. We're 0-3, and we play all 6 of those games still coming up. So we're by no means out of it. But playoffs and winning the division is the furthest thing from my mind. We just got to get better this week.
We didn't envision ourselves in this spot, but here we are. So we got to own it. We've got to take accountability in all areas. I knew that was going to be a difficult football team. I saw what they did last week on offense. They scored on every possession last week. They scored on every possession this week. And so I knew that was a dangerous team, and they were ready for us, and they made more plays than we did today. You got to give them a ton of credit. They dictated the flow of the game, and we couldn't do enough to create a turnover, make a play for ourselves, and go win the game.
Zach,
Were you
specifically
surprised or disappointed in how the defense played?
It's a good offense. We got to get stops, and we never really put them in a third and long situation until that last one. That was really the first time that we put them behind the chains. And so when they can dictate the tempo, which they did, they were on the ball, they dictated the tempo. They kept themselves in really manageable situations. I thought the quarterback played great, 2 incompletions, made a lot of plays with his feet. So it was a difficult challenge, and obviously it wasn't enough from us today.
Oftentimes, Zach, you guys make adjustments, especially after halftime. What adjustments could you not make to do?
It's a tough start to start the half. We felt good coming out of half. We give up a big kickoff return, put them right down there, and then again, there was just kind of one play in each drive that we just needed to make that stop. There was one situation where we had them behind the sticks, and there was some tackling in the perimeter. Certainly, that's got to improve. But it's a disappointing way to lose.
As you watched defensively, how much did you feel like the lack of
pass rush was really opening things up for what Jayden in Washington.
Yeah,
really
it's when you got an athletic quarterback that can make plays with his feet, it's tough. It's similar to some guys that we play in our division in terms of how he can beat you that way. And again, we didn't do enough to affect him today.
When you look at the defense, does it start right now with stopping the run?
I think there were some tackles on the perimeter. I think we had a chance to get the ball carried down on some quick screens, some perimeter bubbles, and things like that. So you can call those run plays. It's really just an extended handoff out there at the perimeter. I thought there were some opportunities to put them in a 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11, get them to a good 3rd down, and they made those plays, and we didn't. And so again, we take a lot of pride in that stuff. I know our defense does, and we got to get back to work and do a better job next week.
Taylor Britt made some headlines with his comments about the Commanders' offense and saying it was a nice college offense. Did you have an issue with that, and do you feel like those are?
That's not what we do. That's not what we do. We praise our own team, praise the other team. We don't need to take shots like that. That team hasn't punted in 2 weeks. They've scored on every single possession the last 2 weeks. So I've got a tremendous amount of respect for what they're doing over there. I've known Cliff a long time. I knew paired with that quarterback, this was going to be a very dangerous offense to play against, and they've proven that so.
Is that a conversation you have with Cam?
Yeah, that's between us.
So it looks like you and Joe went to the coach's office. Did y'all have a conversation after this, or no? Just immediately after going off the field, because he didn't go straight in the locker room and went straight upstairs.
No.
Do you fear Trent Brown's injury to be a long-term?
It doesn't look good.
Were there struggles getting the right personnel on the field on defense in the goal line situations?
There was some substitutions they had. We're just trying to match the substitutions, and there was one in particular where we struggled.
Is there anything particularly frustrating, not only just being 0-3, but the fact these are two of those losses?
Yeah, I think we have to create our own opportunities. When you lose 3 one-score games, no one's going to give you anything. And so again, there's no gift we're expecting to receive. We have to go take it, and we haven't done enough really dictating the tempo of the game. As collectively, offense, defense, and special teams. There hasn't been one unit that's dominated to really take the pressure off the other unit. And so this falls on everybody. And it's frustrating. It's a kick in the gut when you would put on all this work in the offseason training camp and you feel really good about the team and you start out 0-3. But again, that is what we are right now. And I told these guys we got to find a way to get a win next Sunday, and we'll get this thing moving in the right direction. But right now, there's a lot of frustration, I know, from the people that are supporting us, and we're frustrated with ourselves that we haven't found a way to win yet, and we just got to figure that out. But no one's going to point fingers, put ourselves in a hole that I firmly believe we can dig ourselves out of, and I'm excited to watch and see how this team responds.
The one thing the offense struggled with was in the red zone. What did you see in the red zone?
We kind of wasted a possession. We thought there might have been a fumble, so we rushed the ball one time, and then we ran a screen on the 2nd down play, and the corner blitzed and blew it up. So that's the one that kind of kills me there, because we just had 2 plays that didn't get us yardage, and I felt like the other drives we were pretty efficient. So that was a tough one. We need 7 points there, and we only got 3.